Are you nervous about doing an off-road triathlon? Do you want to make sure you have your best race? Well, off-road tries are super fun, but they're also really challenging. So I have 3 race day tips that you are not going to want to miss to make sure you reduce stress and feel confident on race day. Hey, it's Coach Eric with special guest Casper the Friendly Dog coming to you from Ogden, Utah. We just finished the Xterra Off-Road Utah Sprint Triathlon. Still branded from the race numbers. I can't get them off without washing them more than twice. Xterra is so fun, but there's 3 things that I realized today that you've got to know that are unique to Xterra racing that no one ever told me. And even though I've done multiple races, it's hard to know exactly what to do. And so I've got 3 things that will help calm your nerves and reduce stress. We're gonna work backwards because swimming is always first. Let's start with the run. Tip 1, plan to walk part of the run course. Off-road trails are totally different. People will say, well, it's only a 5K or 3.1 miles. I should be able to run the whole thing. No, not if it's super steep. And in fact, you'll actually go faster overall if you sort of speed walk. I'm not just talking about lollygagging, but if you sort of pump your arms, get that good height going and walk the steeper sections, because your heart rate's through the roof, and so running is just sending you sort of into debt, and you're not going to perform very well. I had an absolutely fantastic run at this race, and I walked 3 different times, and so it helps with heart rate, it helps with your breathing, it helps with your muscles, and as soon as it levels out enough, then go back into a jog or a run, but plan to walk the run course. I think I've said this in other videos where I've actually walked in, I think, at least half of the races, but this Utah one especially, there's steep sections. It's okay to walk, plan to walk, you'll be faster overall. So in some ways with the Xterra trail runs, it's not about your fastest top speed, it's about can you reduce how slow your slowest speed is. So if someone's walking super slow, can your speed walk hike, might be a minute faster per mile than them and you're still technically walking. So I'm even practicing sort of run, walking, run, hiking out there on the trails. And if you're not, you should be. Tip 2, we're going to the mountain bike. So when it's a single track trail, what do you do when someone wants to pass you or you want to pass somebody else out there on the trail? So let's start with you approaching someone else to pass them. If there's a lot of single track, there's nowhere where you can really easily get by, you need to say, coming up behind you, when you get a chance, I'm on your left. I always like that saying. It feels like it works well. You're not going to just blow by them. When you're behind them, be patient. The fact that you're passing them means that you're perhaps a stronger rider. So if the trail starts to widen a little bit, you can say passing on your left, and then you can go for it. Or as soon as they start to pull over, they may say to you, hopefully, go ahead, or something along those lines, and then you can make the safe move past them. Now, if someone's going to come up and pass you, if you're like me, I had no idea, what am I supposed to do? I can't go any faster on the trail. They can't pass me because it's not wide enough. So once they announce to me that they're there, hopefully they say, on your left, or coming up behind you when you get a chance. So one of the things you should do, especially if there's a lot of single track, is literally move to the right, take your foot off the pedal, clip out if you have clip-ins, put one foot on the ground, and they will zoom right past you. You're only going to lose a matter of a few seconds by doing that, because as soon as you pull over, they pass, then you're pushing off and you're pedaling again. And drafting is legal, so if they start to pass you and you want to keep up with them, you can actually get right on their wheel and you haven't lost any time. But if you don't pull over quickly, it's stressful for you as a rider, and they're probably getting a little stressed behind because they want to go faster and they're competing in the race. They want to go as fast as possible. So now, the other option you can do, especially if the trail is kind of real single track and then widens a bit, single track widens a bit, that as soon as it widens just a bit, you can move to the right of the trail, maybe slow down a bit, and then say to them, okay, go, or please pass, or something like that, and then they can take that opening and go, and so everyone stays safe on the trail, whether you're the one getting passed, which happened to me, and also if you're the one passing, which also happened to me. So it's good to know both. Both will happen to you to keep everybody safe, but everyone wants to go as fast as possible and compete. And I've really been impressed by Xterra and off-road racers overall, that whether I'm getting passed or people are passing me, everyone's really nice, really helpful to each other. And that's one of the reasons why I like the Xterra off-road tries so much, is because whether you're slower or faster, people support each other, and everyone knows that we're grinding this fun challenge out together. It's just awesome. I love the Xterra off-road tries. Okay, the last tip is for the swim, and honestly, this last tip is not unique to off-road triathlon, because really the swim in off-road and road tries is really the same. But when it comes to the Utah race, it's actually at altitude, and so this goes along with any swim tip, but then especially at altitude. Go out easy. It's a hilly course, it's at altitude. I can't emphasize enough, go out easy on the swim. Start off swimming nice and easy. As you go through the race, you can pick up the pace. Not only will you gain more confidence as you start to pass the swimmers that went out too hard, but with that altitude in the water, your breathing will be a lot more controlled. I mean, even at sea level, your breathing can get really short and start to panic in the swim race, especially if you have a wetsuit, you're not used to wearing that. So practice with your wetsuit, go out slow, especially at altitude. You're gonna have some shorter breaths, that's okay. You've done the diaphragm breathing before the race. I'll put a link in the upper right. We've talked about how to do the breathing. But again, go out slow, don't get in the fray, and you'll just start passing people as you go along. And you can actually finish pretty hard, where the last couple hundred yards, you're actually getting a good pull. You're even kicking harder. You also want to kick harder as you get ready to use your legs to run a transition and get on that bike. So in review, on the run, prepare to walk, and really it's a speed hike. So practice speed hiking. Number 2, practice on that single track, signaling to the rider in front of you, you're going to pass them, and go when there's an opening so everybody's safe. And if you're getting overtaken, don't ride for 5 minutes with that rider behind you. Quickly pull over and get going back with your race. And for the swim, go out easy and really get into your rhythm and pick up the pace as you go. It'll be better for your breathing, for your heart rate, and for your whole mental state. And you got plenty of bike and run to catch up. So do those 3 tips and you will have a fantastic off-road triathlon race. And those are 3 things that no one really told me. So use them. Tell me how they work. I'm excited to go back to Phoenix. Ogden's been beautiful, but I'm back to the desert with a new video next week. So hit the red subscribe button and you won't miss another video. All right, see you on the trails.